The Nazi prisoners of war in World War II experienced harsh camp conditions, yet never gave up their fight for liberation. The most famous breakout attempt at Stalag Luft III established itself as a historic landmark, situated in modern-day Poland, among the high-security German prisoner-of-war camps. The facility accommodated multiple thousands of Allied Air Service members, including primarily British and Canadian and American pilots, who became prisoners after their airplanes were downed by enemy fire. Security officials at Stalag Luft III considered the camp to be completely impenetrable by prisoners. The construction of the camp used sandy ground that created problems in tunnel construction because it quickly caved in. The building's suspension at ground level enabled guards to inspect for underground activities, thus fences were fortified with floodlights and armed guards. One tunnel was not enough for Squadron leader Roger Bushell and his team at RAF, so they devised 3 escape routes, each named Tom, Dick, and Harry. The escape required extraordinary coordination. Hundreds of prisoners took part in the operation while receiving assigned duties for the mission. The escape operation involved a variety of roles, including tunnel diggers, document forgers, uniformed tailors, and camp watchers, and the responsibility of disposing the earth lay with penguins. The prisoners disguised their digging work by hiding pieces of dirt-filled pouches beneath their pants, which they periodically released during normal camp activities. Work on digging the tunnels demanded relentless physical effort from prisoners. Prisoners obtained their digging instruments from bedboards alongside spoons and tin cans. Wooden planks obtained from bunks functioned as tunnel wall support beams, while an air pump built from available materials maintained underground oxygen circulation. A man could barely pass through the tight tunnels as they dug them down 30 feet under the ground and into the forest more than 300 feet from the camp borders. Germans found Tunnel Tom despite the best attempts of its builders to conceal it, which led them to destroy it. The prisoners kept digging at Tunnel Harry, since they recognized the escape would rescue hundreds of people. The lengthy construction lasted approximately 12 months until the team planned execution for March 24, 1944. 200 prisoners would flee one after another during night hours as part of the escape plan. Every prisoner spent time to create their escape documents alongside masks and travel necessities to use while moving through hostile enemy lands. A serious misfortune occurred. After successfully reaching the exit point through Tunnel Harry, the leading escaper discovered that their calculations were wrong when he found the tunnel ending before reaching the nearby trees, leaving all escapees vulnerable to German searchlight illumination. The first few imprisoned men entered the open terrain to seek shelter, since they had no other options. The operation maintained its pace for the initial time span of hours, until problems emerged. The men entered the tunnel one at a time before they vanished into darkness during the night. After 76 prisoners successfully escaped through the shaft, disaster stumbled in when sentry personnel spotted tunnel movement near the exit. The announcement of the alarm created total disorder in the camp. The camp guards rushed through the grounds while searchlights illuminated the area as soldiers fired their weapons into the night. The escape was over. German forces initiated what turned out to be one of the biggest wartime hunts during the following morning. Security forces conducted their search in all land access points and railway terminals, as well as wooded areas, in their effort to identify prisoners on the run. The escapees got arrested one by one after they assumed civilian positions or hid in barns alongside their attempts to use trains for escape routes to safety. Out of 76 prisoners who attempted an escape at Madsen, only Per Bergsland and Jens Muller from Norway, together with Bram van der Stok from the Netherlands, succeeded in reaching safety. Most of the prison camp escapees succumbed to recapture as officials returned them to their original detention facilities. Out of those 50 prisoners, there would be no possibility of a second opportunity. The numerous acts of resistance against him made Adolf Hitler unleash a harsh retaliatory measure. Apart from military regulations, he carried out the execution of 50 prisoners who had escaped during the recapture operation. The Gestapo arrived with prisoners at isolated locations where they executed them. The executions sent profound disturbances into Allied military ranks before being officially registered as war crimes. The sorrowful result of the escape effort became an emblem that represented bravery and active opposition against oppression. Hundreds of prisoners working collaboratively carried out their escape despite severe risks which distinguished their combined ingenuity and dedication. Numerous offenders involved in prisoner executions later faced charges which led to their conviction for war crimes. A book and movie treatment of the Great Escape story followed its historical occurrence, which led to massive acclaim through the 1963 film The Great Escape, starring Steve McQueen. History remembers the escape as the most extraordinary prisoner of war narrative, which demonstrates how the human spirit stays unyielding when facing oppression